Thing that is different than a regular controller is really important. Now, the problem is that when I first built these stations, they were very realistic. They were things that we saw people with disabilities using, but they were intimidating for someone to come and sit down and try it who doesn't have disabilities. So we kind of simplified it. We wanted to make this station more approachable. And so this is why we came up with No Hands Rocket League. So Rocket League's a fun game. Play soccer with a car. I am doing this on this station by pressing this foot pedal. It's a Rock Band pedal that we have a lot of those around here. Which plugs right into the Xbox adaptive controller, works great. And the way that I've set up to steer, like through the device, is I'm going to use these two buttons that are mounted here, just kind of to steer left and right. Oh, missed there. Some days I'm not. Some days I'm really pretty good. Today doesn't feel like one of those days. So yeah, it's pretty approachable. People kind of come in. If someone comes in and this doesn't suit them, we can adjust the table. You know, we want to make sure that this fits for folks. The other thing that happens a lot with this station is game developers will come to me and they'll say, well, what about all the other buttons that this game uses? Like, what about X and Y and all those, and triggers and bumpers? And what I tend to push back on those game developers is I'm like, you might have added those buttons to the game, but where are you coming from with the idea that you needed those buttons? Like, what I'm saying is, like, just because our traditional controller has 15 buttons doesn't mean that someone can actually press them all. So one of the pieces of advice we give to folks who want to be more inclusive in their games is that, you know, make your game work with fewer buttons. Like, make it fun, make it playable. You might not be able to master it, but you should be able to play it. So I can play Rocket League right now with just this foot pedal and, you know, and steering this. Now, I did, oh, that was easy. I did have a bunch of high school kids in here one day, and they really wanted to jump. So they were like, how do I jump? Because, you know, that's naturally what you think when you're in a car playing soccer, right? How do I make the car jump? Sure.
When I saw the controller, why it just have two buttons? How? I knew about the accessories. Do you know how it works? I really like them. It's pretty cool.
Lots of small buttons on this. I was like, we need some big buttons. You know? And it really is that simple. And I think what's interesting is that people, when they hold this, that it's different, and it's not. These aren't for fingers. They are for fingers. You can use your fingers. They weren't designed for fingers. They were designed for fists, elbows, feet. That we needed some big buttons. There are some really interesting reasons for that. One of the things that gamers with disabilities have a really hard time doing in most modern games, these are actually buttons. So they're thumbsticks, but you can press on the sticks, and these are buttons. And so what does that mean? If I could get you to turn around, and there's a woman, let me just go over, let me scooch through, I'll show you. There's this woman here, and we used to call this picture basically our roadmap in a nutshell. This woman is someone who works with special effects. Special effects, one of our charities. She can't bring her hands together. There's actually another guy up there who can't bring his hands together. So we saw this and went, oh, special effect would take two controllers, they'd crack them open, they'd wire them together, they'd basically make them work together. So we saw that and went, oh, we can do that with software. And we created a feature.